Well, Bharat, we have realized that we have had not one but two casualties of the corona. Hyderabad has reported the second corona casualty, where a 68-year-old woman has passed away and Telangana has gone into a complete shutdown with immediate effect. The details are coming up right now. Also breaking right now is a politicized blame game which is taking place in between the two states, in between Telangana and Karnataka right now. Bharat, what do you have to say about that? Over a 76-year-old man from Kalburgi who became the first Indian fatality due to the deadly coronavirus infection, authorities just revealing that the two states are at loggerheads with each other. Who is to be blamed for the man's death after all? Well, that is another situation which is bothering us, and this afternoon we also find out that India is trying its best to halt the deadly virus in its stage 2 right now. Just days from resuming duties after the holy break, the Supreme Court has also decided to limit its functioning to halt the spread of this deadly COVID-19 virus. Also breaking right now is the crisis in the banking sector, which refuses to end. Last but certainly not the least, the COVID-19 has finally managed to rattle the Indian badminton fraternity as well, with India's top badminton player Saina Nehwal worried about her career in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. I am Anukriti.
I am Bharat.
And live from CVR English at Jubilee Hills right now, Sunday, March 15, 2020. This is your Sunday Blast, where we cover news that managed to stay in the top headlines from Monday all the way to today, that is Sunday. So let's get right to that first breaking news of the last week, the coronavirus. Seriously, it has been plaguing us, Bharat, for quite a long time. Well, let's see what we have over here. The entire news which was covered for the coronavirus last week. Friends, we have realized that the menacing coronavirus quite managed to make into the top headlines for the entire week, more or less. I should say that the reason behind it is also obvious. With the steady rise in the numbers of the positively tested coronavirus cases in India, and now two fatalities also being reported, the virus had to stay in the picture and grab the headlines. India has reported its second COVID-19 death on Friday, with a 68-year-old woman who had tested positive for the novel coronavirus succumbing to the infection. Well, that is a sad scenario, but the woman's son, who had recently returned from Europe, had also earlier tested positive for the virus. The death of this 68-year-old woman from West Delhi, let me tell you, she was from West Delhi precisely, and she is also the mother of another confirmed case, is now confirmed to be caused due to comorbidity. Well, according to scientists, it is a condition of comorbidity, which means that she was suffering from two diseases, diabetes and hypertension at the same time. This is what the health ministry has told the media late at night, and as you might know already, on 10th March, a 76-year-old man from Kalburgi in Karnataka with COVID-19 symptoms had also died. Test results on Thursday confirmed he was positive for the novel coronavirus, making this aged man with a travel history to Saudi Arabia the country's first COVID-19 fatality. However, this another Delhi resident had not traveled anywhere herself. She had only come in contact with her son, a yet another positive case, who had traveled earlier to Switzerland and Italy between 5th to 22nd of February.
Coming to second headline brought to you by the coronavirus, and this is one is quite not surprising, as sooner or later this was bound to happen, as is usually seen with most of incidents which happen in our country. The novel coronavirus outbreak in our country has also finally become the latest target of politicization. The first Indian fatality that finally sparked a blame game between Telangana and Karnataka and exposed the state of surveillance of our suspected patients. While Telangana authorities are busy blaming Karnataka for letting the suspected patient travel, authorities in Kalburgi are maintaining that had left against medical advice. For those who are uninitiated into the matter, let me tell you that a day after the tests in Bangalore confirmed that 76-year-old man who died on 11th March was positive for novel coronavirus. It emerged that he had left a private hospital in Kalburgi 2 days before his death and traveled Hyderabad district. Authorities said that he left without their knowledge. Even samples had been sent for testing here in Hyderabad. This man went to the state Gandhi hospital but left once again without testing. The patient and his family moved about in the central part of the city and finally reached the old city where they stayed with a relative over the next 2 days. He got himself admitted to a private hospital after having visited the Gandhi hospital. Two others that denied him admission in the first place when he was once again urged to go to a government hospital, he headed from the instead. The man died within an hour of leaving the private hospital in Hyderabad.
Well, the third headline tells us that India is desperately trying to halt the spread of this deadly virus in stage 2, according to the Director General of Indian Council of Medical Research. Yes, friends, India currently is facing stage 2 of the COVID-19 outbreak, a stage where the disease transmission is limited to those with a travel history to the affected countries and others in contact with those affected persons. And our government's efforts right now are geared towards halting or at least delaying the progression to the next stage. The Indian Council of Medical Research Director General Balram Bhargav has said that after stage 2 comes stage 3, where the disease starts spreading through the local community. Isn't that quite challenging? This is followed by stage 4, when the disease takes the shape of an epidemic, when the ongoing transmission has no clear end point. China and Italy right now are in stage 4 of the COVID-19 outbreak. So as far as India is concerned, Bharat, the progression to the next stage, which is stage 3, may eventually happen. But by delaying it, India is making itself better prepared to localize and even contain the situation. Dr. Bhargav says that India currently has around a 30-day window to halt the beginning of the community transmission of COVID-19 cases. So the time to act is now, I would say, or if we want to be specific, the time to act is within 30 days from now. We have a window of just about a month, Bharat.
They already shut down.
Exactly, and Telangana has already faced a massive shutdown which has come from immediate effect today itself. So Monday onwards, we will see a lot of schools.
In the past 2 weeks, the number of cases of COVID-19 outside China has increased 13-fold, and the number of affected countries has tripled. There are now more than 118,000 cases in 114 countries, and 4,291 people have lost their lives. Thousands more are fighting for their lives in hospitals. In the days and weeks ahead, we expect to see the number of cases, the number of deaths, and the number of affected countries climb even higher. WHO has been assessing this outbreak around the clock, and we're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic. Pandemic is not a word to use lightly or carelessly. It's a word that, if misused, can cause unreasonable fear or unjustified acceptance that the fight is over, leading to unnecessary suffering and death. Describing the situation as a pandemic does not change WHO's assessment of the threat posed by the virus. It doesn't change what WHO is doing, and it doesn't.
And even before I can close in on the first headline, I'm getting some fresh updates at the CVR English studio right now from the Health Ministry, stating that as of now, Sunday, March 15th, 81 COVID-19 positive cases have been confirmed in India, and Telangana has become the 9th state to initiate a shutdown in the wake of the coronavirus threat, with the state chief minister ordering all schools, colleges and cinema halls to shut down till 31st of March. However, IT firms located at Mindspace and Brightspace can continue working from home. So let's be safe, let's be alert, let's be together in this fight against the coronavirus. And as we all know, if there is a problem, sooner or later, a solution is inevitable and will emerge in the form of a powerful vaccine which can tackle and beat this virus right in its infancy. Keeping our fingers crossed, let's wait for the scientific community to get back to us on this. And I'm sure we have a lot of scientist friends who are working very closely with our Chief Minister KCR, and very soon we should come up with...
number of cases reached 100.
Yes.
It even crossed, I guess.
The problem right now is that the number of confirmed cases on paper are 81, and Times of India especially believes that the unofficial number has already surpassed 100, but the health authorities and the medical authorities are quite reluctant even now to admit the real number.
I've been researching from last 2 days on this. I don't have more information because I have to get information from the doctors.
Yes.
Not all the
The
people
doctors are the best ones to validate our points right now.
Can give prescriptions on this. So what I got is the virus stays in the throat for 4 days.
It does.
So gargling with salt water, you can eliminate that virus from your throat.
And that is precisely the reason why the scientist friends of KCR are constantly advising the people to drink more and more water, because the more water you drink, the more are the chances of the virus passing down your esophagus into your stomach, and once it reaches the stomach, the hydrochloric acid is strong enough to damage or destroy the virus.
And the virus can't damage, it won't be a problem in the stomach.
No,
if
that's
it
what I
reaches
said.
lungs, that will be a major problem.
That is the problem. That is why we need to stay hydrated and make sure that our internal passages are moist and always hydrated, so that the virus can easily pass down to the stomach, because hydrochloric acid in the stomach is a very corrosive acid. It has a very low pH. So that is an environment where the virus cannot survive easily.
Even one more idea of implementing mobile clinics on the roads, because people who are roaming on the roads, they don't know that they're carrying the virus. So screening them on the roads, each and every one, that can be a...
Mobile screening on the roads of Telangana can be a very feasible answer also.
That's good,
particularly because many people also cannot afford the expensive hospital treatments, Bharat.
That's sure.
That is a problem, especially with a country like India, where most of the people, they are either belonging to the lower middle class or the middle strata.
You leave the middle class people, the people who are from poor regions,
That's
or the
what
poor
I'm saying.
people who work for others, they don't know they are carrying the virus.
People from the lower and the lower middle class effectively are going to get affected because of this.
Meanwhile, over the last weekend, we also saw our government authorities constantly requesting the masses of avoid all the kinds of public gatherings to reduce the risk of coronavirus infections. Even as per the Court of India, the Supreme Court on last Friday, 13th of March, has decided to cut down on the work limit functioning from tomorrow, the coming Monday. When it reopens after the holy break, it has decided to set up only a limited number of branches to hear only urgent cases to prevent possible spread of the novel coronavirus. The move will postpone the hearing on 3 key national issues: the faith versus fundamental rights, validity of Citizenship Amendment Act, and the centre's decision to scrap Article 370. See, the Article 370 can be neglected for now, because the corona is breaking everyone.
Right now, I will be very honest with you, Bharat.
Stock markets are down, the people are scared, and they are really in a situation what they have to do.
And I'll tell you, one situation has become very interesting these days. The moment I wake up and I get my newspapers, copies of newspapers, the rest of the headlines, like you said, are definitely taking a back seat. But apart from that, the topic of coronavirus in itself has become so strong and predominant. The coronavirus itself is creating 10 headlines of its own. It can be
Definitely.
the scientific headline, it can be the local headline, international, national, any latest developments related to the COVID-19, each and every headline. For example, today in Deccan Chronicle and Times of India, for instance, the first two pages, I was just scrolling through the newspaper, the first two pages I tried, and as much as I tried, I could not find any other headline apart from COVID-19, either
Corona.
this headline or that headline, but related only to the corona.
See, it's become a fever, and people are getting panic about that. Even WHO declared it as a pandemic.
Pandemic, and now it has also been declared as a natural disaster. It is
Yes.
a disaster now.
So, getting holidays or getting shut down, it's
Is the
really
need of the hour.
a positive note.
Very positive note, and I must say that our chief minister has taken the right decision at the right
So,
time.
the people out there, if you are having any sore throat or any irritation in your throat, start gargling with warm water.
And
so
make
that the-
sure you are completely hydrated and
it
carrying
might-
a water bottle with you
it
at all
might not
times.
be the virus, but you can even suspect it. It might be one.
You never know, prevention is better than cure.
Definitely.
So always carry a bottle of water with you, just like Bharat and myself do to the studio every time.
Yes.
I can see your bottle over there. So Bharat and I are also in the habit of taking sips of water every now and then just to keep our throats moist.
She
And
have to carry 3 bottles because she is Anukriti, Govind and Sharma. I am only Bharat. I only have to carry only one
Bharat,
bottle.
excuse me. As far as I remember, you are Bharat Raj.
Okay, Bharat
Yes.
Raj.
So that's Bharat Raj. Something like the Raj
I
from
have to
the
carry two bottles.
Are you even somewhere close to the Raj of the Yash Raj movies by any chance?
No, not.
So let's
No.
keep the jokes aside for now. Let's keep the jokes aside. I know this is Sunday and all of us are in the festive Sunday mood, but let's carry on with the analysis
Moving
of all
from
the
Corona to
news.
Yes Bank now.
Yes, bank, the banking sector. So because it's very important to, always stay abreast.
Nowadays, S Bank became no.
No bank. Well, let's just hope for the best decisions to be taken in the times to come. But keeping that story aside and moving on to the current decisions taken by RBI, this Yes Bank, on the other hand, has also given us quite sleepless nights to its worried customers as it went through a severe financial crisis over the last week and gave us some hot headlines to ponder upon. So just like I was saying, Bharat, we have had so many headlines being produced by Yes Bank also. So let's just have a quick review about Yes Bank and the headlines that Yes Bank came up with in the last week. For those who are uninitiated on this matter, let me tell you that the RBI had first of all put a moratorium on last Thursday on the Yes Bank and had imposed a withdrawal restriction of rupees 50,000 till 3rd of April.
That's too much.
However, the latest update received from Yes Bank at our studio this afternoon reveals that the crisis-hit bank had informed its customers that they could now make payments towards credit card and loans through other bank accounts days after the banking services were curtailed after the RBI imposed a moratorium on this money lender. Now, the move came as panic-gripped customers queued before the ATMs and bank branches to withdraw money. They were not able to access any internet banking or digital payment services through another party's platform, and forex services and credit card purchases were definitely compromised. However, there was a tweet put out by the official Twitter handle of Yes Bank, and I quote, "Inward IMPS services have been enabled now." Yes Bank also tweeted recently, it further tweeted, and I quote, "You can now make payments towards Yes Bank credit card dues and loan obligations from other bank accounts." That is quite a reliever.
Yeah.
It looks like Yes Bank will eventually revive the remaining banking services for its clients, but we really can't say how long it will take. But in the meantime, we can only hope for the best to happen and at the earliest. Over to you, Bharat.
I think Prashant Kumar is recently, he's going to be take care of the S Bank, right?
Prashant Kumar is going to take care, and at the same time, Rana Kapoor as well as Priyanka Gandhi are under a very tight scanner.
SBI is gonna take 49% stake in that.
49% stake, but as of now, Bharat, and not just you and I, but many people, especially the customers of Yes Bank, are still waiting for the enforcement directorate's verdict to come out, because we are still waiting for any news related to interrogation which was supposed to take place with Priyanka Gandhi regarding this painting of Rajiv Gandhi which was sold to Rana Kapoor for a whooping rupees 2 crores.
Yeah.
So we still have to wait to hear from Priyanka Gandhi and what she has to say about this, because interestingly, you know what, Rana says that he was forced to buy this painting. Now,
Yeah.
nobody is a child to be forced.
Exactly.
So, I can't even force you to come to the studio
See,
on time
the
sometimes.
bank, it started in 2004. The government is Congress that time. So then, what can we say on that other than that?
But definitely, I believe that nobody can be forced into doing something, leave
Yeah.
alone buy a painting worth that much amount of money. So let's just wait for Priyanka Gandhi's bite to arrive at our studio.
Is it a financial politics or financial gains? What you
Well,
can say?
if you just ask for my personal opinion,
It's an opinion. What?
it's just an opinion.
Yes,
Yes, let's be
yes,
very clear
opinion.
about that. It's disclaimer.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. So let's please don't try to misquote it.
It's.
Because this fellow keeps pulling my leg at the studio.
I'm not going to.
No, what I feel is that there is definitely a story behind
Yeah.
this entire drama, which has been portrayed in the form of buying of the portrait of Rajiv Gandhi. And these two individuals who are involved, Priyanka Gandhi and Rana Kapoor, they are certainly trying to probably hide something or not reveal something. And this entire theory about coercion or forcing a person into buying a painting does not really seem to click a chord with me. Something is not right. जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि दाल में कुछ काला है. So there is something which is fishy. Something
Please
is not
correct
right.
me. Rana Kapoor sold the painting or who
Rana
sold the
Kapoor,
painting?
Priyanka Gandhi apparently has sold the painting, but
Okay.
Rana Kapoor has been forced into
See,
buying the
the
painting.
artists in Hyderabad facing a tough time in selling their own paintings. Selling a painting for 2 crores, it's gonna be a big time for. What can I say other than that?
Imagine Rana Kapoor being forced into buying it.
Yes.
Well, yes, bank.
What is that
discussion.
painting? What is there in the painting?
Well, it is Rajiv Gandhi's painting.
Okay, what is he doing in the painting?
I have no idea. I have not had a look at the painting so
Oh.
far. Neither have the masses. What we have seen so far is that the painting is all covered up in newspaper. It has
Okay.
been tied
He's
securely.
in Indian attire or of Western?
Well, like I told you, I have not had
I
a look
just
at
want
the
to be
painting.
detailed. I just asking you. Okay,
Very
going
nice.
for in
Well,
another
you know,
fresh.
like discussions about Yes Bank are never ending. We can just go on and on, but time to move on to the next
See,
headline,
S
which
Bank
is
tried to be a no bank and SBI made it an S Bank again. Thank you, SBI. And in another fresh update, and it comes a quiet reliever that the bank has now said in an ATMs are fully loaded and up now. Customers can withdraw stipulated amount of from other banks, ATMs as well. Plus, the SBI board has finally approved a proposal to invest 7,250 crore in S Bank by purchasing 725 crore shares. The Reserve Bank of India has written to the states to preempt the from withdrawing funds from private banks. In the wake of S-Bank crisis, the governments have already decided to shift funds, have been told to reconsider. So that was S-Bank making splashes in the headlines ocean last week. But come on, if we think about it and look at larger picture, crisis in the banking sector never really seems to end.
ask me about it. First,
Does
it was
it?
the PMC. Now it's the Yes Bank crisis in the banking sector. Banking sector is so huge and so complicated. It involves tons and tons of money. So
Yeah.
any place where money is involved, Bharat, you know, I'm going to tell you, any place where money is involved, things are bound to get complicated sooner or later.
I just want to ask you something.
Well,
Before we got banks,
Yes, Mr. Raj.
Banks started that your money is not safe in your homes. We have banks. Come keep your money.
Don't
After
you
the-
think with that tagline, the business of banks actually started?
Exactly. And
No.
afterwards, for you to keep your money in our bank, we charge you.
And not just money, valuables also. You know, the moment
Definitely.
you want to go and open a locker in a bank, they charge you. Locker
Yes.
charges are there.
Yes.
So your money is safe in a bank. But right now, with this dicey situation existing in the society around us, well, yes, the customers of Yes Bank have been forced to rethink their decision. But all's well that ends well. Crises happen. We do tend to make mistakes, and mistakes happen.
I think citizens should be safe. What government thinks, that's the final decision.
And the best thing about this situation right now is that the government has fully declared openly that the government stands by the RBI and the SBI in their reconstruction
Yeah,
plan.
okay.
They had, they had a reconstruction plan in mind as to how to bring the Yes Bank into the market with full trust of the customers. So the government is lending its wholehearted support. That is
Please
the best
correct me
thing.
if I'm wrong. I read that S-Bank got some special GO that not to disclose any of the important details of
Well,
customers and all. Is it true?
yes, it is definitely true. And keeping the gravity of the situation in mind, I think it is only quite understandable that the bank should not be allowed to disclose certain details about its clients right now. So, very understandable, a very wise move on the behalf of RBI and SBI.
Okay.
And right now, RBI, SBI, and the government, all of
So
them are working in
you
tandem
are okay
together.
with the GO?
Which geo?
The GO which S-Bank have proposed and which is following by the S-Bank,
Uh,
not disclosing the...
Yes, yes. I personally feel that right now, because things are so hot right now and they are so vulnerable, it is only in the best interest of all the customers of Yes Bank for certain details and certain figures to not be
Don't
disclosed.
you think it's having the same with the Swiss Bank and all? If you can have a black money, you can store it. You don't need to
Absolutely.
give any details.
Absolutely. But like they say, as news readers, we would know the best about our job. But as far as the banking crisis is concerned, the SBI and the RBI will have the best decisions to take because they have the knowledge, they have the experience. So I feel that if this decision about non-disclosure has been taken, it must have a very valid reason behind it.
And we are just the voice of public.
Exactly. We are here to tell you about the latest happenings all around us and without any bias, without taking any sides and having a completely neutral approach.
We want you to think along with our opinions also.
We have our opinion, just like Mr. Raj asked me about my opinion just a while ago. I'm sure all of you will also be having your own opinions.
Yeah.
And it is very nice to have our opinions.
Definitely.
So the Yes Bank discussion can go on, but let me put a halt to it. And amid the coronavirus drama, the IPL has also got postponed yesterday. This is about sports now, Bharat. As far as the COVID-19 is concerned, definitely the masses are getting affected, but
Definitely.
how can sports be left behind now? So the IPL also got postponed yesterday, and we also found out that the Indian badminton fraternity is also getting rattled by this virus. Last Friday, top English newspapers such as Toy and Deccan Chronicle told us that the coronavirus outbreak has also cast its dark shadow on the badminton players. We are having Malaysian Open, Singapore Open, and all these will not be able to take place if and only if the government does not allow our Indian badminton players to travel overseas, to travel internationally and be able to register themselves for these tournaments. We have Saina Nehwal, who is very worried right now about her career because she feels that she may not be able to take part in the Indian Open and the Swiss Open.
She was also awarded Women of the Year on this.
Yes,
March 8th,
absolutely.
right?
And this entire Indian badminton fraternity right now is not in India, Bharat.
Yeah.
They are playing international tournaments.
Yeah.
But in order to apply for the Swiss Open, they were originally supposed to travel back to India and then go back to Switzerland. But now, amidst this entire fiasco,
Yeah.
most of these players want to travel directly to Switzerland and avoid the India trip because they feel that the government officials will not be allowing them to participate in the Swiss Open.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
See, it's better to postpone. You can't cover a stadium with a mask.
Exactly.
See, the pandemic should be eradicated or it should be treated first and afterwards the game starts. If you're not healthy, you can't play anything.
Absolutely.
Even
And
if the players are playing, there will be no audience because of this pandemic.
And right now, we might have some people from the audience who are suffering from this coronavirus threat, but our players might be healthy. But at the same time, the authorities also cannot take a chance of putting our players' health at risk. However, having said that, the authorities also need to understand that there is talent coming from India. So, I definitely believe that players like Saina Nehwal should be taken into consideration, and it would be really unfair if she misses the tournament because she has the talent and the capacity to bring the gold back home. So the authorities, especially the international authorities, need to take this global scenario into consideration right now and probably postpone these tournaments instead of holding them at the same pre-scheduled dates. Because a lot of badminton players are going to suffer as they will not be allowed to travel internationally. So keeping in mind the talent which is available around us, these tournaments should be pushed to a later date. That's what I believe. So that has been the analysis and the revisiting of the bulletins which made the top headlines last week. Bharat, we had COVID-19 all over.
Coming
We had
out of
Yes
the
Bank.
topic, stop giving shake hands, start doing namaste, our
Just like
tradition.
Mamata Banerjee has been
And
propagating.
keep washing your hands, keep washing your hands. If not sanitizers, use a basic soap what you got. You don't need to spend a lot of money on that. Don't waste money. Use it. Good soap can clean away germs from your hand. And don't travel, don't move outside, don't even go for public gatherings where there are many people outside there. You can
And I do,
continue now.
and I see, I do understand that we need to travel. At the end of the day, all of us are working. For example, Mr. Bharat Raj and I also have to travel to the studio to work every day. But try to avoid any kind of unnecessary travel
Definitely.
as much as possible. And like Mr. Bharat was saying, it is the best strategy right now to continuously wash our hands with simple soap and water. And like one of the top headlines in Toy yesterday was also telling us about how a simple thing as soap can become the best strategy against the COVID-19 right
Yeah.
now. Much better than the sanitizers. Sanitizers, the so-called expensive sanitizers which
Yeah.
are available in the market are not quite as effective as the simple soap lying, the simple humble soap lying at your house right now. And that's because the scientist friends of our own KCR are telling us that the chemical compounds present in soap, which are known as amphiphiles,
Yeah.
they are not exactly fat molecules, but they mimic fat molecules. And the most interesting part is that these amphiphiles are mimicking the fat molecules present in the outer membrane of this coronavirus. So what happens is that this coronavirus has a tendency to stick to the surface of your hand.
Yes.
So if I place my hand on this table right now, what will happen is that in case there is a virus, it will tend to stick to the surface of my hand. And if I wash my hands with just plain water, it will not get wiped off. So what does soap do? When the soap comes in contact with your skin, the amphiphiles mimic the fat-like molecules present in the outer membrane of the virus, and they end up out-competing these fat molecules which are present in the outer membrane. So what happens is that the COVID-19 loses its grip from the surface of your skin and gets washed away, and the soap molecule stays behind, the so-called amphiphile. And then the amphiphile is also washed away with running water. So soap is the best strategy. Try not to touch your face, eyes and mouth so much, because we have a tendency of touching ourselves all the time,
Yeah.
even as we speak. And in case there is a virus sitting on your hand, chances are that it may get transmitted to your mouth simply by you touching yourself rather than somebody else touching you. So shake hands should be avoided.
Hello.
Namaste.
Hello.
Exactly. So if somebody does this to you, this is
No.
what you do. Namaste is the
Yeah.
best strategy. Washing hands from time to time is the best strategy.
Yeah.
Even sanitizers are not required. Try to limit your touch to yourself also, and try to limit
I read
any kind of
something from-
unnecessary travel.
I read something from WHO website. See, if you're not carrying any cotton handkerchief or any other thing, and you are sneezing, you just can use this elbow out there. So you can also see, you have to stop the droplets
Seriously.
multiply and other people getting caught.
Because this is a pure case of droplet infection. The more droplets travel in the atmosphere, the more chances of other people around you contracting this virus. And one more interesting observation which I had when Bharat was doing that action is that the moment you have a tendency to cough or sneeze, if you bring the elbow across to your face and then you wipe the swab which comes off from your nose, probably, let's assume, the elbow, this part of the body is a part which is usually not able to reach very close to your mouth until you deliberately allow it to.
Yes.
Are you understanding?
Yeah.
It's very easy for me to touch my own face with my hands, but it's very tough for me to touch my face all the time with my elbow. I'm not going to do this all the time.
Yeah.
So that is the best way to wipe off any swab which may come out of your nose in case you have a tendency to cough or sneeze, in case you are not carrying a handkerchief.
And remember the symptoms. Are you coughing? Observe
Breathlessness.
yourself. Breathlessness, respiratory problems, sneezing, a running nose, all the symptoms. If you observe any of the symptoms, go to your doctor.
Now, without any delay.
Definitely.
Because prevention is better than cure, and it is always wise to nip the problem in the bud rather than allowing it to become a full-fledged infection inside your body. And before we close, a very interesting piece of advice has arrived at the CVR English studio right here, right now. And this piece of advice has come from, can you even guess, Bharat?
Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
No.
Uh,
I'll give you one more try.
Neelima ma'am.
No.
Chairman sir.
Well, you've got three right there. A very interesting piece of advice, a very effective one, I'm sure, because it comes from the China community. One of the most talented and accomplished and knowledgeable scientists from the Chinese community is telling the world about one of the most effective ways of diagnosing also yourself. So what you can do every day is wake up, whenever you wake up in the morning, go outside, take some fresh oxygen, take a few deep breaths in and out, deep inhale and exhale. And before you have to even go to a doctor for the diagnosis of this disease, every day in the comfort of your own home, you can do an effective self-diagnosis. And this is how you do it. So you sit up straight or you stand up straight and you,
You're
let's do
teaching
it,
me,
let's do it
right?
together.
Okay.
And I'm sure that our viewers will also do it with us as they
Yeah.
are watching us on their television screen. So
Yeah.
you sit up straight and you take one deep inhale. So you take a deep breath in and hold it now, Bharat. I want you to hold this breath for a minimum of 10 seconds. This is what that highly experienced scientist from China is telling to the entire world right now. Hold your breath for 10 seconds and then slowly release the breath. Now, the test. If you are able to comfortably hold your breath for 10 seconds or more, then you do not have any developing fibrosis in your lungs.
Okay.
But if you are unable to do it and you feel some discomfort or breathlessness or pain or some kind of a congestion developing in your chest, chances are that there are traces of fibrosis happening inside your lungs.
That's
And
really fantastic.
that is a domestic way of self-diagnosis.
Yeah.
The moment you feel the slightest discomfort or pain as you do this exercise every morning, please rush to the nearest hospital.
That's really fantastic. I really want to say thank you in China. I don't know because I'll manage the ching chang pong.
What do you mean by ching
I
chang
don't know.
pong? You wanted to manage something.
Oh, I know how they speak and all.
So you wanted to thank them in their language.
Yeah.
So let's just thank them with a namaste. Dhanyavad.
namaste.
आपका
That's-
बहुत बहुत
that's really
धन्यवाद.
very, very
We can
nice.
always say dhanyavad to them. So jokes apart, yes, this is a very effective way of trying to diagnose your condition every day at home before you leave for work, before you start with your day. And having said that, the time has come to close our Sunday blast, because I'm sure the lovely viewers of CVR English are also getting ready with their plans for Sunday evening. Bharat, if I may take the liberty of asking you, what are your plans for Sunday night?
I just want to stay in a room
Stay where?
until the corona gets down. I want to
Just
stay.
go back home and lock yourself
yeah,
up?
Yeah, I just want to do some research. I just want to spread important information. All the people out there who don't know, I just want to carry the information each and every corner, each and every nook.
Bharat, I think you're playing it very smart, very
Yeah.
safe and smart. Huh? You
Yeah.
just want to project that good boy image that you have, huh?
Yes, yes.
Tell me your real plans now.
I just want to go and play games.
Play games. See, that's Bharat right there for you. Don't you want to ask me about my plans?
Anu, there are three names, right? I don't know which person I want to ask. I'll ask Kruti. What do you want to do, Kruti?
Well, I'm not Kriti. So who
Okay.
are you asking?
Okay, then Anu. What do you
Yes,
want to do
people
after
do
this?
call me Anu. Even Neelima ma'am calls me Anu. So
Okay.
my plans for the night are very boring.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to project a good girl image over here at all. I just have plans to catch up on my sleep. Because as all of you know, at the studio, I have been running round the clock and with very less sleep going into my system. Just like our scientist friends of KCR are also telling us that if your immunity drops, immunity levels go down, then the chances of infection increase further. So I just want to boost my immunity by giving myself some shut-eye. By
I
sleeping
also
more.
read that multivitamins and omega-3 fatty acids also can optimize your immune system.
Yes, and vitamin C also. Vitamin C is very
You can
important for
see-
boosting your immunity.
Don't go with our prescription, please, along with the doctor's prescription.
No, it's not just about the prescription, Bharat, but we have a lot of fruits and vegetables which have
Definitely,
vitamin C. So
definitely.
the more healthy you eat, the
Yeah.
more clean you eat, the more
carrot,
strong
beetroot.
your immunity will be.
Yeah.
Spinach, green leafy vegetables.
Yes.
Right now is the right time to eat as healthy as you can, because scientists are saying there's one more very important research which has come out. Compared to the other viruses, including the common cold virus also,
Yes.
Bharat, scientists are saying that the COVID-19 has a very low mortality. The only reason we have 2 fatalities in our country is because these 2 people had suppressed immunity. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
The virus in itself is not very dangerous, but it becomes dangerous when your immunity levels go down. So right now, the best remedy or the best way to safeguard yourself is to keep yourself healthy and to make sure that your immunity stays up and high.
Yeah.
So eat healthy, exercise every day, get a lot of fresh oxygen inside your body, and like I was telling to Bharat, I am going to catch up on my sleep this Sunday night.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think she is lying. She is really a workaholic person.
Because I'm a workaholic, I have not been able to catch up on my sleep the entire last week. And Sunday night, I'm going to get extra 2 hours of sleep.
Even
To boost
she's
my
saying that
immunity.
she is going to sleep, there will be a multiple split, and the other person from her will be working.
Probably I'll go off to bed thinking that I will sleep. Within the next 30 minutes, I will probably be researching on some hot topic for the next day's bulletin. My nature is like that, but jokes apart, we should be able to catch up on our sleep and make sure that our immunity is intact right now, because the COVID-19 is out there in the atmosphere. If our immunity is strong, we can handle it.
And I also want to say one important thing to everyone. CVR English wishes a happy Sunday to everyone.
Absolutely, this is Sunday Blast. So Bharat is ready with his plans. I am
Yeah.
ready with boring plans of mine. But I'm sure the viewers have much more interesting plans. I'm
Definitely.
sure everybody is going to rock their Sunday.
Yeah.
And now it is the time to have a Sunday Blast.
Sunday Blast.
You can actually go out and get ready for your Sunday Blast now.
Yeah. And don't forget to catch our channel every Sunday. We are gonna share all the news which covered in a week. The
Fresh
people
dose of news every Sunday.
the lazy smart people out there, you can watch this. The people who are preparing for civils, you can catch our news. We're gonna cover all the news in a week, the important news which are covered in the week.
The
in this
busy
show.
people of Telangana can always sit back and relax on Sunday. Just switch on and subscribe to CVR English and catch up with all the news that managed to make into the top headlines the entire week. So we will be coming to your homes, onto your television screens every Sunday, the same time, with always the fresh bunch of news which have been in the top headlines for the last week.
With the hashtag Sunday Blast.
Sunday Blast, and please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of CVR English as well, so that in case you are not able to catch up with the latest news and updates on television, YouTube can always help you out. We are there on YouTube as CVR English Official, am I right?
Yeah.
So subscribe to CVR English and tap onto that bell icon so that you never miss an update from CVR.
You can also give your important comments, share, like, subscribe.
And you can always write down in the comments that Bharat is looking extremely handsome today.
Oh, not more than you, please.
That's Bharat being modest.
Anu is looking more good. Anyways, that's up to now. We covered most.
And all of us
the-
are ready for our Sunday Blast
Yeah,
now.
we
We've covered
covered-
more or less the entire
Yeah.
top bulletin of the last week.
We covered all the important news of the week. If you are missing anything, we'll definitely look after that from next Sunday.
From the next Sunday onwards,
Yes.
because everybody makes mistakes.
Yes, this is the first show, although it's first show.
Yes. But I'm sure we are going to have a long-lasting friendly relationship with all our viewers on
Definitely,
Sundays, our
definitely.
Sunday viewers especially.
Yeah, definitely.
So keep rocking and have a Sunday Blast.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, viewers.